Patel's online content somehow pearl-clutching now when it's one of their political opponents. And yet, this comes from the top, because here's Donald Trump himself playing into the bit on Fox News.
A child knows what that meant. If you're the FBI director and you don't know what that meant assassination. And it says it loud and clear. Now, he wasn't very competent, but he was competent enough to know what that meant. And he did it for a reason, and he was hit so hard. Because people like me, and they like what's happening with our country. Our country has become respected again, and all this. And he's calling for the assassination of the president.
Obviously, he apologized and said he did.
Well, he apologized because he was hit. Look, he's a very bad.
What do you want to see happen?
He is a.
What do you want to see happen?
I don't want to take a position on it because that's going to be up to Pam and all of the great people. But I will say this: I think it's a terrible thing, and when you add his history to that, if he had a clean history, he doesn't. He's a dirty cop. He's a dirty cop, and if he had a clean history, I could understand if there was a leniency.
There is no position more comfortable for Donald Trump than fetal. And let's not forget, this is the same Donald Trump who pardoned over 1,600 convicted felons, including many who committed violent crimes. The same administration led by a guy who incited the January 6th insurrection itself, that left multiple people dead and over 140 police officers injured. But suddenly they're clutching their pearls over a beach photo with some numbers and seashells? I mean, the hypocrisy is staggering. When Donald Trump posted a video showing Biden hogtied in the back of a pickup truck, an explicit depiction of violence against his political opponent, Republicans leaders were silent. When Trump called for terminating parts of the Constitution, they looked the other way. But Comey's seashell picture? That's apparently beyond the pale. In fact, Patel was among those voices dismissing the significance of Trump pardoning actual criminals by the thousands.
Tell me about your J6 choir. What is that?
Well, it's not my choir. It's simply a recording that was utilized to raise funds for families in need of nonviolent offenders.
Who sings on this recording?
I don't know, Senator.
What did you have to do with it?
Simply to raise funds to assist families of nonviolent offenders whose kids needed college education payments and whose rent needed being paid.
My understanding is that the performers on this J6 choir were the rioters who are in prison.
I'm not aware of that, sir. I didn't have anything to do with the recording.
You weren't aware of who made the recording?
No, Senator.
That's interesting.
So what we thought would be cool is if we captured that audio and then, of course, had the greatest president, President Donald J. Trump, recite the Pledge of Allegiance. Then we went to a studio and recorded it, mastered it, and digitized it, and put it out as a song, now releasing exclusively on War Room.
For those scoring at home, the seashells on the beach, very violent. But actual violent insurrectionists who stormed the U.S. Capitol looking to assassinate the vice president and prominent Democrats? Sounds like a witch hunt to me. What we're witnessing is a classic Trump tactic: manufacture outrage about something trivial to distract from his actual policy failures as president. And there are plenty of those to choose from. As Donald Trump enters his 5th month in office, his tariff policies have sent the economy into a tailspin. According to the Penn-Wharton budget model, Trump's tariffs are projected to reduce GDP by about 8% and wages by 7%, with a middle-income household facing a $58,000 lifetime loss. Consumer prices are rising rapidly as American companies absorb the cost of these tariffs, which, by the way, directly contradicts Trump's long-standing line that China pays the tariffs. According to the Center for American Progress, his tariffs amount to an average tax increase of nearly $4,600 per American household. And of course, as far as a recession is concerned, we already saw 1 quarter of negative growth, and we're very likely to see another. Meanwhile, the Trump administration is pushing a budget that would cut $880 billion from Medicaid and slash $320 billion from food assistance programs like SNAP, all the while extending tax cuts that primarily benefit the wealthiest Americans. These are real issues affecting real people. But instead of addressing these economic catastrophes, this administration would rather have us all debating whether an Instagram post of seashells constitutes a federal crime. It is the ultimate distraction. And that brings us to the core of what's happening here. The Republican outrage machine isn't actually concerned about threats to the president. If they were, they'd have condemned Patel's chainsaw meme with the same ferocity that they're doing right now. What they are actually doing is creating a smokescreen to hide their policy failures and to justify further crackdown on political opponents. It's also a perfect example of the hypocrisy that defines this administration. When they post violent imagery, it's just a joke or political humor, but when others use common slang that could be remotely interpreted as negative toward Donald Trump, it's a federal crime warranting a full investigation. This is what happens when governance becomes just another reality TV show, when the president and his team are more concerned with creating drama and spectacle than with addressing the actual challenges that Americans face. When policy expertise takes a backseat to loyalty and TV presence, this is what we get. So as the American economy teeters on the brink of recession, as millions face the prospect of losing healthcare and food assistance, as consumer prices rise due to ill-conceived tariffs, the Trump administration is laser-focused on beach photography. This isn't governance, it is a distraction, and Americans deserve better. Before you go, if you enjoyed this content and you want to see more and support independent media, please subscribe to this channel. The subscribe button will be right here on the screen. But second, the reality is that we are now in a political environment where this administration can lean on any of the social media platforms to suppress certain voices if they don't like critical coverage. That means my longevity here is in the hands of a few tech billionaires who are already making it clear that they are willing to cater to this administration. To that end, signing up for my newsletter is a way for me to reach you directly if that ever becomes necessary. I'll put the link right here on the screen as well, so please sign up. It's free, but there's also an option to do a paid subscription if you'd like to support me and my team. I really appreciate it. Thanks so much for watching.